Welcome back, Yo Bro Nation. I am Zach with the Yo Bro Nation YouTube channel. It's funny, I'm still getting used to this even almost a month later. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I am your host. I am Zach. I'm going to try to use less of my hands. My girlfriend made fun of me for doing too much hand motion. Welcome back. This is your countdown. Ooh, it's already starting. Your countdown. WrestleMania Top 10. That countdown, that thing. Why can't I think? Why can't I formulate words? Who knows? Because sometimes my brain just doesn't like to work. But yeah, welcome in, everyone. I am the host. I am the one who does this little shindig. Would like to welcome everyone in. This is number 7, I believe. Number 7 on my top 10. I didn't write that down in my notes, but yeah, this is the number 7 on the top 10 WrestleMania's countdown list. We are on the road to WrestleMania, everyone. While I'm not doing a Raw or SmackDown review, I'm doing plenty of these. So, you know, this is occupying my time, but I will have less to do this coming week, so it won't take as much time up to keep doing them. It's a lot of work. 3 hours and 42 minutes was this WrestleMania. It's a lot. It's a lot of time. It's a lot to watch. It's a lot. It's a lot of work. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she also made point the fact that I talk about my hair a lot. She's probably right. I probably do. But let's go ahead and let's talk about this. WrestleMania 18, man. WrestleMania X8. This was the same year that I graduated high school, so it was like an important WrestleMania. It was my last WrestleMania as a student, as a child, if you will. I was 17, but it was a big deal, right? It was a big WrestleMania for me and for my friends. I actually watched some of this with my mom. My mom's over for the weekend, and you know, she's like, I feel like we watched this. I said, we did. We watched it at the apartment. And she's like, we did? I was like, yeah, Mom. We watched a few of these. And she's like, oh, I didn't think that we did. I was like, yeah, but we did. We watched a lot of them. We watched a couple of them in the home that I grew up at. I was like 16 till I was like 20. I lived in this place with my mom, but good memories there. Good memories. As does this WrestleMania. Has a lot of good memories. Of course, the biggest one being Hogan and The Rock to determine who's really the greatest of all time. That was never decided, and if you listen to the company now, it's John Cena anyway, so who cares? Now, yes, the one I did earlier today was a long one. I'm going to try to keep this one a lot shorter, although this one's only about 45 minutes less in time length. Oh, man, do I miss the 3-hour formats. But yeah, this WrestleMania was a big deal. This was the one, of course, after the invasion, you know, so you had a lot of fresh faces on this WrestleMania. You know, DDP making a WrestleMania appearance, Booker T, Rob Van Dam, you know, and a couple others. Mighty Molly was there. So it was a big deal. Of course, this was the first time they had the Undisputed Championship defended. The only time the Undisputed Championship was defended at WrestleMania. A lot of firsts. Ric Flair's first WrestleMania since WrestleMania 8 was at this one. So, you know, it was a big deal. It's in Toronto. This was, you know, when they started the string of let's get it in all big buildings with 50, 60, 70, 80,000, 900,000. I mean, God dang it, they've used a lot of big buildings since then. I miss the days of a Madison Square Garden or even in LA. I miss those, which there's a couple after this one, but those are basically absolute, like, no longer needed anymore. I don't know. I'm just rambling. This WrestleMania, not the fondest of the WrestleManias I've ever watched. I remember getting like this close. Excuse me, I got this close to actually getting to go to that WrestleMania. I talked to my mom's best friend Patrick. He almost did it. It's like, well, Toronto's only, 8 hours from here. Maybe we can make the trip. But then, he's like, let's just order the pay-per-view. It's easier. And I was like, dang it. Because I really did. I really wanted to go to this. It's like, I want to go to Canada. I want to see WrestleMania. I mean, I know I could have got my passport, but I don't know if I could have went with him because my mom wouldn't have been with. So I wasn't entirely sure how that worked anyways. But my mom was all for it. She was. She was like, I don't care. Go. It doesn't matter to me. So, before we get into this review or whatever you want to call it, let's go ahead and talk about the ways that y'all can help support this channel. First of all, patreon.com/YoBroNation. 6 tiers that y'all can choose from. They're ranging from the co-producer, executive producer tier, where you get to be a moderator in the Discord chat. If you want to talk to us in the Discord, all you have to do is be $1 at Patreon. We're also going to do Ask Us Anything Q&As, behind-the-scene video, behind-the-scene vlogs, which is coming up. It'll be once a month. Post-show videos. There will be one of those tonight. AEW reviews. Those, you get AEW reviews. Exclusive to here. Eventually, the Universe Mode pay-per-views are going to be posted specifically to here. You get to vote on Retro Rewind reviews, which ones I get to do. Get gifts for your birthday. Just give me your date of birth when you become a Patreon member of $10 and up. I will give you stuff for your birthday. How about that? Like I said, co-producer credits, producer credits. You guys get to help decide with the channel what exactly we're going to really do. All that fun stuff. You guys get to help participate in all that. Now, look, if Patreon, maybe Patreon's not your thing, that's fine. There is another option. TeePublic.com/YoBroNation1. You guys can go on there. We got the blue YoBro Gaming and Reviews shirt, the very first logo. We got the new updated logo for YoBro Nation. The Kissing Bandit t-shirt. Recess Never Gets Old. Charlotte Reigns, and more t-shirts to come. I'll probably do a new Recess t-shirt because it's fun. It's always fun. Something with more of the group on there. I'm also looking to expand my t-shirts to possibly Teesprings. I'm also working on getting things onto Spotify. Just stuff I figured I'd share with you guys. But you guys can go there, get the merch. They got hats. They got bags. They got phone covers, they got pillows, they're going to have murals on there, so you get a lot of stuff. Of course, if you're a $10 and up Patreon, you get any of the merch that you want for free for your birthday. Also, look, you can like, share, and subscribe to this channel. If you do subscribe, hit the notification bell. Share it with your friends, like the videos, it helps, it pushes us more into the web of YouTube, and more people will get eyes on us. That's pretty much it. Just help us out. I ain't asking for money. I'm just asking for a like. Just hit a thumbs up, and I will be a happy person. So let's go ahead. Like I said, I'm not going to take as much time today. WrestleMania 18. Toronto, Canada, March 17th, 2002. March 17th, actually, is my daughter's birthday. So that makes this a little bit cooler. This was 7 years before she was born. But, it is what it is. This was their first WrestleMania in Canada since, I think it was WrestleMania 6. Hogan taking on the Ultimate Warrior, which they actually bring up during the Hogan match. It was a good WrestleMania. My friends were there. We watched it at my mama's house. And, not to the extreme and to the extent, I think, with WrestleMania 20, do I have the fondness. But it was definitely one of those that was like, this is fun. The moments is what I remembered most about this. Hogan and Rock, and then Triple H winning the title after tearing his quad, the year before, and missing WrestleMania. Or he didn't miss WrestleMania, but tearing his quad, coming back, all that stuff. It was it was a good WrestleMania. A really good WrestleMania. To me, it doesn't have as great of a card as some of the others on this list. But it was exciting. It was fun. It was the end of an era with the company because the next year would be with the brand split. So this was the last one before they did that. A lot of stuff going into this. A lot that I can think of. A lot that I can't. It was a good, fun show. Yes, I'm low energy today. I have a big day. I have a big date today, so gotta look good whenever that time comes. So the show opens up with Saliva playing Superstar off their album. The Tron would be playing. Before I even say that, the set was beautiful. Big, simple set. Big rails and stuff. Like you was looking at a construction area. Looked pretty damn awesome with just some LED boards on there. With video packages playing, which was playing during this entrance, the theme song for the show, just highlights of the different matches. These guys opened it up. Then they went ahead and did the opening package. Just the wrestlers talking about what WrestleMania means to them. Similar to WrestleMania 20 and WrestleMania 19, which I still think 19 and 20 are better. 17 was cool, but this one was... Each year, it's like it got a little bit better, more epic with the feel, with the music, the score. 20 to me, though, still the best one. But 18 was a really, really good one. JR and King, of course, on commentary, as they were. See, they started commentary for 14. They did 15, 16, 17, 18. Were commentary for 19 and commentary for 20 and 21. I think they were actually commentary for all these shows up till 2008. So like a 10-year run, these guys were doing at least part-time commentary at WrestleMania. So that's a deep run. The show kicks off with William Regal defending his Intercontinental Championship against Rob Van Dam. Of course, this is Rob's first WrestleMania, being in ECW for the years and years prior. Regal defeated Edge at No Way Out, and I believe it was in a brass knucks on a pole match. Someone called Vince Russo. Someone stole his ideas. Regal right up the gate tried to get the upper hand. RVD took it right to him. Kicks and punches. He definitely had the advantage. Regal, he's in the corner. He's trying to get his knucks out. He turns around. RVD kicks that out of his hand. Kicks his ass some more. More shots. Went for the 5-star. He misses it. Regal starts to get the advantage. Regal's doing suplexes and other different holds. RVD trying to fight back, but Regal's kind of keeping the pressure on him. RVD started to gain some momentum. The pace started picking up. Regal counters. I believe he hit a T-bone suplex, and he keeps control. As the match progresses, this wasn't a very long match. William Regal, he goes to the outside, grabs the knucks. The ref sees it, and he just kind of shoves the ref to the side. RVD kicks him right in the face, goes up top, hits a 5-star frog splash for the 3 count. Rob Van Dam is your new Intercontinental Champion. This was his first, I think, of 5 Intercontinental Championships. And a really good debut for Rob Van Dam in what was a good match. A good, solid opener. Hey, good stuff. Interview with Christian, who's got that positivity look. He's asked why he turned on DDP after everything DDP did for him. He says, much like this stupid second-rate city, Canada, when I didn't need it anymore, I moved away, and he's like, I don't need DDP anymore. He says, no more temper tantrums. He's got everything under control. Now he's a winner, he says. And for DDP, that's not a good thing. That's a bad thing. Of course, they showed a nice little shot of one Toronto, Canada. We go to DDP versus Christian for the European Championship. Of course, they announced Christian was now residing in Tampa, Florida. This would also be the last WrestleMania you would ever see the European Championship defended, as it would be unified with the with the Intercontinental title later in the year. Also, not long after this, DDP, when he was on SmackDown, would get injured and would be forced to retire early. I mean, early for wrestling years, but he was of age. Of course, DDP now got DDP Yoga, so it's all good. DDP comes out, gets in the ring. Christian immediately starts stomping him. DDP recovers. takes the advantage. She gets them back and forth. Christian, of course, using heel tactics to get the advantage in this matchup. Kept trying not to lose his cool, though. You know, every once in a while, if something wouldn't go his way, he'd just want to throw that fit. DDP, though, keeps battling. Goes for a diamond cutter. It gets reversed. DDP he falls into the reverse DDT. Only gets a 2 count. Christian, again, trying not to lose his cool. Goes for something. DDP counters. Goes right. Hits the diamond cutter. 1, 2, 3. Diamond Dallas Page retains his European Championship. A lot of these matches at the start of the show were kind of quick. There was obviously more to the match, but I'm just hitting the main points here. After the match, DDP says, "Hey, man, I'm proud of you. You know, not only did you lose, but you didn't lose your cool." He says, even though it was in front of, 67,000 screaming fans, he says, but you didn't lose your cool, man, and that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. And Christian just starts like throwing himself on the mat and throwing a kid, like a temper tantrum kid type thing. Can I not formulate words? Jesus. Throws a temper tantrum like a kid. So then they cut backstage. The coach is interviewing The Rock. The Rock, he's talking about, he wants Hulkamania in all its glory. And he's like, "Coach, do you pray?" He's like, "Of course I pray." He's like, "Did you say your prayers or did you take your vitamins and stuff?" He's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Did you pray?" "Well, I got busy." "You got busy?" So he makes the coach get on his hands and his knees and pray. And coach just, "What up, G? Coach here. Blah, blah, blah." And Rock's like, "What? What's up, G? Get out of here, you sick freak." Kicks him out. Hogue says, like I said, I want Hulkamania all its glory. He says, "What you gonna do, Hogan, when you have butterflies in your hunk of stomach or whatever?" And he says, you can smell what The Rock is cooking. Typical Rock, but The Rock even mocks him, ripping the shirt off. Good interview by The Rock. Rock's always on point. Rock always live. Hardcore Championship. Now, this continues throughout the night. It's a running theme for WrestleMania. This, again, also the last time you see the Hardcore Championship at a WrestleMania, as it, too, would be unified with the Intercontinental Championship. I wish they'd bring the Hardcore title back. I loved. It would be Maven defending the Hardcore title, his one and only WrestleMania appearance, against one Goldust. Of course, Maven was the first ever Tough Enough winner. Eliminated The Undertaker from the Royal Rumble and then beat The Undertaker with help to become Hardcore Champion. Goldust went on the attack early, viciously attacking. Used gold trash cans, had a golden shovel. Everything that he used was gold. It was brilliant, brilliant. Maven, however, makes a comeback. Nice, beautiful-looking drop kick. Goldust, though, quickly taking control as he puts the shovel, hits Maven right in the ribs with it. Both men end up hitting each other with trash can lids. Like, this was quick as hell. Both men hit each other with trash can lids. Goldust falls out of the ring. Spike Dudley comes out of nowhere, gets in the ring, pins Maven for the 3 count, becomes the new Hardcore Champion, and then Crash Holly, God rest his soul, comes down to the ring, chases him off, and then Goldust follows in tow. Then we get Drowning Pool, who, like I said, though, this continues throughout the night, so there's more to this. Drowning Pool plays Tearaway, which is them telling the story of Jericho and Triple H and their feud. After they're done playing, Crash and Spike Dudley are fighting backstage. Al Snow on a golf cart comes crashing into like a wall of boxes. Spike gets away, has the advantage of Crash. Here comes the Hurricane, who kicks over Spike Dudley, pins Spike, 1, 2, 3, new Hardcore Champion, and then he flies away, and then Al Snow comes out of the heap of boxes. Where'd he go? Damn it! LOL. That's what I wrote, is LOL in my comments. That's the and again, the story continues. Kurt Angle versus Kane is our next contest. This started after Kurt Angle lost at No Way Out to Triple H. For some reason, Kurt Angle blames Kane that he's no longer the #1 contender. So this starts their feud. Angle, though, at the beginning of the match, he comes out, he takes a shot at the Canadian Olympic, I think it was figure skating team? Yeah, figure skating. says, you know, if I'd won my gold medal like they won theirs, I'd freaking shoot myself in the head. He says, but I did the old-fashioned way. I earned it. I didn't cry like a baby like they did to get it. Of course, Kane cuts him off. This is after he calls himself the Red, White, and Blue Machine. Kane cuts him off. When Kane gets to the ring and does his little pyro thing, Kurt Angle comes in from behind with the ring bell, hits him. Immediately, he's on Kane. He's fighting him. Kane starts to fight back, but Angle hits him with a German. So Angle, he's kind of got the advantage for a little bit. This is a lot of back and forth between these guys. Like, no one guy had the advantage in this match. Both guys looked really strong. Kane, of course, fights back using his strength. Angle using his craftiness and speed keeps control. Some stiff clotheslines, a couple suplexes. Keeps the pace slow. Guys go back and forth some more. Angle, some Germans and stuff like that on Kane. Kind of land on Kane's head. That was what they kept saying. Headshot. For some reason, King just keeps going, another blow to the head. I don't know. Maybe there's something to do with the story. I don't remember. But Angle gets his head clotheslined off, basically. When Kane starts to make a comeback, Kane starts building some momentum. You know, spinning him up, power slams, gorilla presses. Kane goes for a tombstone. Kurt Angle, though, slides off him, grabs the mask, pulls it off of him, then hits him with an angle slam. Only gets a 2 count. Angle goes ahead and puts him in the ankle lock. Kane fights out of that. Uses the ropes. Finally gets up. Enziguris to Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle goes for an angle slam. Kane counters that. Goes for a choke slam. Angle rolls through. Uses the ropes to get the pin. 1, 2, 3. Kurt Angle defeats Kane. This was an okay match. I know I'm like going a mile to nothing. Just like this. No room to breathe. What? Can you process what I'm saying? What? So yeah, good match. Obviously not the biggest or the best Kurt Angle match, but for Kane versus Kurt Angle, good stuff. This would be short-lived as Kurt Angle would move on to face Edge over on SmackDown after this, and they would have a couple matches back-to-back, and Kurt Angle would eventually lose his hair. So we see the Hurricane backstage. He made his way. He's trying to hide, and he makes his way to the Hose locker room. They're there in just some bra and some skirts, talking about boobs. Oh, my boobs. Oh, your boobs look great. Oh, I think they're too big. No, you need some plastic surgery. No, they look great. They're nice and perky. And while they're talking about this, Hurricane's behind the shade. You know, those little changing shades. And the stick just starts to poke up like this from the view, and it looked like he's getting wood, right? And one of the hosts is like, ah! They just start screaming. Here comes the Godfather. Like, they scream, and he's like all the way down the other end of the hall, and all of a sudden he shows up. What's going on? He's like, oh, you sick? And he gets behind him. He's jerking on the stick. It looked bad. It looked horrible. But the thing gets knocked down. Hurricane runs away. You okay? You okay? There was Godfather's appearance for WrestleMania. Good for him. Good for him. Next up was Ric Flair versus The Undertaker. No disqualification match. This started at No Way Out. Undertaker's taking on The Rock. Ric Flair was already having a few issues. He hits The Undertaker with the lead pipe, which costs The Undertaker the match. So Taker comes to him, and Raw's like, I want a match with you, one-on-one. You did what you did. Hey, nothing personal, just me being a man. Well, let's see how much of a man you are. Face me at WrestleMania. And Ric Flair's like, nah, I'm not going to do it. So what does he do? In retaliation, beats up Arn Anderson, bloody, and then goes to the, not the Performance Center, but where David Flair's training, beats up David Flair. Bad-looking beatdowns. So Flair's like, okay, fine. You want me, you got me. So Flair, he's chasing Undertaker, trying to beat up Undertaker, gets in the crowd, pushes a fan. That fan sues, gets Ric Flair kind of arrested. And then they decide to vote vote confidence for Vince McMahon, to where Vince is in full control till at least after WrestleMania. But, Flair's like, whatever, which leads to the brand split. So Flair starts this match hot. He's taken to the dead man. They bring up the fact that Undertaker hasn't lost yet at WrestleMania. This is the first time they really reference the fact that Undertaker's never lost at WrestleMania. So he's taking it to Ric Flair, or Flair's taking it to him inside and outside the ring. Flair has the advantage. He goes to jump off the apron, but Undertaker grabs him, rams him into a steel post, Of course, they referenced the fact that Ric Flair broke his back in a plane crash, and it's a miracle they never came back. For a little bit, it's both men kind of going back and forth at each other, you know, punches and kicks. You know, Ric Flair's punching him. Undertaker's just soup bones. But Taker, at this point, just kind of starts to dissect Ric Flair. And that's pretty much where the rest of this match goes. Is just Ric Flair getting beat up slow and methodically. Ric Flair gets busted open early with, as JR puts it, those soup bones busted open Ric Flair. Taker continues the beat down. Flair, he's just bleeding. You know, he tries giving some chops to Ric Flair or to Taker, but Undertaker just kind of takes him and then just punches him in the head again and just puts him back. This is something you don't see a lot. The Undertaker actually gets Ric Flair on the top rope and suplexes him into a superplex. You don't ever see that. Ever. Like, hardly ever. The dissection, though, continues. Some elbows and some leg drops on the apron as Undertaker's just slowly and methodically beating him. Ric Flair's in the ring rolling around in pain, screaming in pain, and you just see the blood just dripping from his head. You know, that platinum blonde hair Ric Flair's, you just see it all through. And it's funny because King even says, you know, it looks worse than it is because of the hair. He's like, but look, Undertaker's bleeding. Look at his face. It's got a gruesome cut. It's going to need some stitches. So they squabble. Flair starts to make a comeback. What is it? Flair would try and fight, but couldn't. Yeah, Flair kept fighting back. Flair starts to make a comeback, starts chopping the Undertaker, goes outside. They fight to the outside. Flair grabs the lead pipe off of Undertaker's bike, cracks Undertaker over the head. So now Undertaker is also bleeding. He starts just whacking Undertaker with it. Flair, he gets back in the ring. He starts hitting him some more. Let's see. Taker, he tries to hit a choke slam, but Ric Flair gets away from it, low blows the Undertaker, puts him in a figure four. Taker, he starts to fade, but he sits up, he grabs Ric Flair by the throat, gets up, choke slams Ric Flair. The ref's like, come on, man, come on. So Undertaker, hits the ref, puts him down, gets the lead pipe. Flair's fighting back. Undertaker, goes for Ric Flair. Ric Flair moves. Arn Anderson's out there, hits him with the spine buster, rolls out of the ring. Ric Flair tries to go for the pin, only 2 count. Undertaker fights back, gets out of the ring, beats the shit out of Arn Anderson, gets him in the ring, has got him in a reverse dragon sleep, or got him in a dragon sleeper. Flair hits him from behind with this teal chair. Undertaker, he takes a couple chair shots. Big boots Ric Flair. Chair falls onto Flair. He goes for a last ride, but Flair's just like dead weight, so Flair falls down. So he just picks up Ric Flair. Tombstone pile driver. 1, 2, 3. The Undertaker goes to 10-0. That's what he does. He's just like, I'm 10-0, mother fudgers. I'm the dead man, bitches. Michael Cole interview. Yes, the Undertaker 10-0. Of course, this did lead, though, to the Undertaker becoming number 1 contender, then not being number 1 contender. The brand split happening. Well, not this match directly, but the brand, it was kind of bland at times. The brand split happens. That's actually kind of interesting. Michael Cole interviews Booker T, who has an issue with Edge because, one, he lost on the Biggest Loser, or Weakest Link, sorry, the Weakest Link. Doesn't get a hair ad that Edge was getting, but look at Booker's hair at this time. Look at Edge's hair. I mean, not to sound racist, but obviously you'd want to go with Edge and, promote his hair for your commercials. Says that, he's like, I'm intelligent. I got glasses, don't I? Says in high school, I got an A on my high school thesis on Einstein's theory of relatives. And Cole's like, you mean relativity? It's like, he had 2 theories. You just like everyone else. You like Edge. So according to Booker T, he's smart. Edge isn't. So this, of course, Edge is in his hometown. And this all started over a hair commercial. Seriously. Oh, man, the 2000s. So this starts off with a series of shots and some reversals. Both men, of course, trying to gain advantage. Booker T, though, he does gain the advantage. Dumping Edge on the ropes with a flapjack. Booker T hits Edge with this nasty Alabama slam at one point. It looked brutal. this is just, it's a lot of back and forth. Booker T in control, hitting it with some moves. Edge starts to make a comeback, hits a Hurricanrana. Booker T lands on top of him. That looked pretty bad. The pace starts picking up, more back and forth, some more near falls. Edge missed the spear. Booker T hits him with a side kick, does his spin-a-rooney, hits a scissors kick, goes for a 2 count. He's frustrated. Booker T goes for a bookend, gets elbowed, so that's countered. Edge hits the spear, only a 2 count. Edge gets up and decides to do his own spin-a-rooney, the Edge-a-rooney. Booker T, gets up, misses the side kick, Edge ducks. Edge goes for the Impaler DDT. Booker T counters that. Goes for another side kick. Edge ducks it, hits his Impaler DDT. 1, 2, 3. Edge is victorious. I hate people. So yeah, what was I going to say? I get so distracted easily. I wish people would just stop distracting me. Edge, Edge wins this in his hometown. It was an okay match. Booker T's first WrestleMania. They both had something to do. Of course, Edge would go on and face Kurt Angle. Yeah. So Coach tries to interview Hurricane. Hurricane's like, he's like, what you did in the Hoes locker room, don't you think that's unbecoming of a superhero? He's like, holy insinuation, Coach, or something like that. I cannot speak. Anyways, I'm moving on. Mighty Molly comes in. He's like, I'm the Hurrah Hardcore Champion 24/7. Mighty Molly says, hurry, to the Hurrah Cycle! And then she cracks him from behind, pins him. Molly Holly, the new Hardcore Champion. Up next, and you can see just how sour Steve Austin was, but Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Scott Hall with Kevin Nash at ringside. This started at No Way Out when Austin was going for the title as they attacked Steve Austin and Jericho was able to retain. The attacks would continue, but Austin would ultimately upstage the NWO a lot before this event. When you're trying to establish the NWO as a threat, yes, on Hogan's behalf, Hogan looked like the threat because, he ran over The Rock with a semi-truck. That did happen. But Austin kept embarrassing Scott Hall, locking him up in a cooler, stunning him when they were drinking beer, just embarrassing the crap. But then they'd get a slight advantage, the brick to Austin's knee. But Austin clearly looked better. The match starts hot. Austin with a lot of shots. Hall he's reeling. Tries to get to the outside. Austin just beating the shit out of him some more. Austin even takes a shot at Kevin Nash to be like, look, mother effer, I'm here. I know you're there. Hall gets the advantage. Every once in a while, Nash would kind of get in, like, if at Nash you would see the ref was not looking, he'd take a shot or try to choke Austin. Hall just continues to work over Austin during the match. Nash would again take some more shots when the ref was distracted. Austin hits a stunner, only gets a 2 count. Nash pulls the ref out. That's how that happens. So Nash pulls out the ref, knocks him down. At this point, it should have been a disqualification anyways. Nash gets in the ring, series of shots to Steve Austin. They attempt to double team. Austin fights back, gives a stunner to Hall, gives a stunner to Nash. Another ref comes in to make the 2 count as Austin's kind of sitting there. You could have counted to 20. And then Nash just gets in the ring and just drops an elbow over the top of the ref. I think it was Tim White, was in the ring. Austin continues to fight with those guys. Finally, a horde of refs show up. They eject Kevin Nash. This is after he's already attacked Austin some more. As Hall's falling around, Austin grabs him, starts fighting with him. They get back in the ring. They fight some more. Hall uses the stunner on Austin, gets a 2 count. Austin gets back up, punches Scott Hall. Not one, but 2 stunners back to back. 1, 2, 3. Scott Hall loses to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Of course, Austin celebrates with beer afterwards. Now, this was just a few months before Austin, quote-unquote, took his ball and went home. And at this point, I think Austin was already burnt out. Austin was not happy with his lineup for WrestleMania. Look at who he'd fought years prior. So, a lot of factors in this particular match with Austin, specifically. Austin just not happy with his spot in the company at this point in time. And, I don't think anyone really blamed him. So, but, I didn't know at this time what was going on with Austin. I was just like, cool, Austin beats Scott Hall. But I did feel like it wasn't a great match. Originally, though, the rumor is that originally the plan was to have Austin take on Hogan. But Austin didn't want to do the job to Hogan. So you ended up getting Hogan and Rock, which worked out, swimmingly. Next match, Fatal 4-Way Elimination for the WWF Tag Team titles. Billy and Chuck defending the titles against the APA, the Hardys, and the Dudleys, who came out with Stacy Keibler. Now, originally, it was supposed to be Taz and Spike Dudley defending their titles against the APA. Something happened to Taz where they lost the championships to Billy and Chuck. And then somehow the Hardys and the Dudleys ended up getting inserted. Now, Saliva performs Get the Tables, which is the Dudleys' theme at that time, so they get to come out. Now, gripe. This will be the third video consecutively that I brought up the dubbing of music. Every other match the Dudleys have, even around this time, they have their theme, their old theme, dubbed over it. Why could they not use this on a regular basis? Why and only in this video? It's a stupid gripe. You might not even understand what the hell I'm trying to say. The Dudleys get their old theme played on every other event around this time on the network. The dubbed theme. But for this particular show, they got to hear the live. Obviously, they can't cut out the entire live portion. I get that. So you pay a few bucks, I guess, for this. Just do it for everything. God, give me the old themes. I want to hear the actual themes from the actual pay-per-views. They were part of what made it awesome. Match starts fast. APA and Billy and Chuck are fighting. Bradshaw and Billy in the ring. Bradshaw kind of takes down both men. Gets them back and forth with the APA and Billy and Chuck. Blind tag by Devon, who gets in the ring. A 3D attempts broke up by the APA. Some chaos starts happening. Teams start fighting. There was a 3D hit on Bradshaw. The APA are eliminated, which is bogus because they should have been in this match in just a regular one-on-one team match. Hardys get in the ring. Things kind of break down. Table gets set up outside the ring. They're fighting in and out of the ring. Hardys start getting the advantage. Stacy Keibler tries to distract Jeff Hardy. He walks up, smacks her bare bottom, gives her a kiss, and then Bubba takes advantage. So for a good 10 minutes, the Dudleys are just they got the ring cut off, controlling Jeff. Jeff makes a comeback. Him and Devon both make the tags. Matt and Bubba come in. They start fighting. The Dudleys get the advantage, though. They go for a what's up. Chuck pushes Devon off the top. Devon goes falling into the table and smashes through it, so he's stuck out there. Hardys hit a twist of fate and a swanton. Dudleys are eliminated. So in comes Billy and Chuck. They start battling. I had a hard time even tracking the rest of this. Billy and Chuck, Billy hits a famouser on Jeff, only a 2 count. Jeff and Matt fight them off some more. Billy comes in, hits Jeff with the title belt, and then Chuck covers him through a 3 count. This match was a lot going on. It was hard to keep track of it, so I apologize for not having full match detail. I did my best, but this was a hard match to keep track of. Of course, when the draft happened, the Dudleys get split up. Billy and Chuck go to SmackDown. The Hardys get split up. No, the Hardys are together for a little bit longer, but eventually they split up. So, a lot changed after this. A lot of the teams, I believe, actually, the APA gets split up, too. A lot of these teams are no longer a team after this. It's really quite tragic. It really messed up the tag team division. After this WrestleMania, the tag team division slowly started to become what we see it as today. Random pairings, just no real teams. It was kind of crappy. Nash and Holler backstage. They're still upset about Rock saying, "Hey, this what happened with Austin ain't gonna happen with Rock." Hogan walks up, says, "Look, I need the Brotherhood. I gotta know in my heart that I'm the man. And when I prove I'm the man, and I show him all these things, NWO for life and all that, I'll show everyone how I am the man." He says, "So I just need you guys to stay back here." Fist bumps and Nash and he's like, Hall's like, "Did you hear that?" He's like, "Nah." It's like, doesn't mean we ain't getting involved. He'll still need us. So Molly Holly, backstage, she's running, trying to hide, get out of the building, gets hit with a door. It's one of those that open from the bottom and the top, smacks her in the face. Christian, He's like, stand back. There's a new champion coming through. And he's like, come on, ref, come on, ref. He pins Molly Holly. Christian is the new hardcore champion. So here we get to the match of the night. What, in my eyes, and many, many others, even to this day, we all agree this should have been the main event. Let me get my water. This should have been, without a doubt, the main event of this show. The Rock versus Hogan. And all this started, Hogan comes back, NWO, I was this, I was that, but y'all turned on me. The Rock comes out, no, they didn't turn on you. They loved you. You turned your back on them. Challenges Hogan, one-on-one, once in a lifetime, you and The Rock, let's do it at WrestleMania. And, he's like, yeah, we'll do that. And then, of course, he runs over The Rock when he's in the ambulance with a semi, hits The Rock with the hammer over his head, and so much more. Rock's just like, you can try to end my career, but dude, I got your number. Don't you worry. So you're expecting, The Rock to be the overwhelming favorite, right? No. Hulk Hogan comes out to a huge ovation. I mean, a big ovation. One of the most, epic, the NWO theme hits, and the crowd just goes crazy. Hogan comes out, and you can even tell Hogan at first is like, oh, I didn't expect this. I didn't see this coming. So when The Rock comes out, he gets booed. It's a mixed reaction for The Rock at first. They're just standing there, the crowd. God, I miss the day of flashbulbs from cameras. Nowadays you get these epic stare downs, but you don't, people just got their iPhones out. Nothing's actually happening. You see all the flashbulbs going off. And these two are just staring at each other, looking at the crowd. The crowd's just erratic at this point, the crowd is. So they're like, all right, well, let's go. And the crowd erupts. Hogan and Rock lock up. Hogan, he overpowers Rock, does his little pose, and the crowd's just going nuts for the man. Rock's like, holy crap. So when Rock gets in a move, the crowd starts boom. They start doing Rocky sucks chants, and he's just like, well, damn. So the story goes that these men basically fixed a few things on the fly. They just went with the flow of the crowd. Yes, they still worked the match like they were supposed to. Hogan did heel things, but the crowd was like, fuck it. We like Hogan. We don't care. The crowd, like I said, booing Rocky even when he made a comeback. And I love the fact that they played off of it. I like the fact that the commentary team kept bringing it up like, well, we were expecting a mixed reaction, but I don't think Hogan expected this. And they kept talking about mixed reactions. First off, there was no mixed reaction. This was all strictly Hogan. They did not want anything to do with The Rock. But I do like they eventually play this off a year later. Anyways, so yes, it's a back and forth battle. JR and King did, though, call this match wonderfully. Hogan, regains control. Rock's showing the heart that he has, so, they're fighting back and forth. Hogan gives Rock a rock bottom. They battle to the outside. Rock, blocks him from being hit with the table, so he starts smashing Hogan's face on the table. Grabs a chair. The ref keeps him from doing it. Hogan clotheslines him on the outside. They go back to the ring. Rock goes for a clothesline. Hogan ducks. The ref gets knocked out. I'm expecting the NWO at this time, right? 17, 18-year-old Zach's watching this. He gets Hogan down, puts Hogan into the sharpshooter. They keep bringing up the whole mixed reaction thing. Not a mixed reaction, guys. Not even close. Hogan's tapping, but there's no ref. So, Rock's trying to wake up the referee. He's just picking him up, dropping him, and Rock's going into heel Rock mode. Rock, he's trying to wake up the referee. As he walks, he's listening to the crowd, with Rocky suck chants. He turns around. Hogan low blows him, gives him the rock bottom, gets only a 2 count. Hogan takes off his belt. The crowd's into it. He starts whipping The Rock. The Rock finally gets back up, DDTs Hogan. He takes the belt. The crowd starts booing. And, JR's like, look, he's just retaliating. Like him or hate him, he's only retaliating. Just kind of deal with it. Rock whips Hogan, spits the belt, and continues the beat down. Rock hits the rock bottom. Only a 2 count. Hulk Hogan at this point, the crowd just rabid. for Hogan at this point. He gets up, starts hulking up, and Rock's hitting him, and he's just hulking up, and Rock's playing it off like... And, you know, he's like, the you! And Rock's like... And they start battling. Big boot, leg drop, only 2 count. Hogan's like... They're battling back and forth. Hogan goes for another leg drop. It misses. Rock hits the rock bottom. He kind of sits there for a second, gets up, picks Hogan back up, hits him with a second rock bottom, pops up, people's elbow, 1, 2, and 3. The Rock defeats Hogan. Now, first of all, go to the network, pay $9.99, and watch this damn match. All right, you're thinking, God, Hulk Hogan is old. Go watch this match. I did okay telling you what happened, but go and watch this match. It's a fucking awesome match, man. Fucking awesome match. Go watch it. It's fantastic. Secondly, it, again, should have been the main event. Now, I understand why they kept it as the main event. They wanted the title to be the main event, which is, you know... Yeah, I think your championship should main event, but if you have a matchup like this, I think it's okay every once in a while to just kind of, okay, we're going to step back, we're going to let, you know, what's obviously what the fan favorite is, and let that be the main event. After the match, you know, Rock's celebrating, Hogan's up, reaches out his hands, Rock looks at him, they shake hands, Hogan's like, you know, go ahead, you know, the ring's yours, he's holding his ribs, he's clearly hurt himself, he's old and slow Hogan. So Rock gets out of the ring, and Hogan's just like showing him, and Rock's kind of like, you know, thank you, I appreciate it. Soon as Rock starts to go out of the ring, here comes Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. They're like, dude, what's with the handshake? Scott Hall throws the toothpick in Hogan's face. Nash hits him from behind. They start to beat up Hollywood Hogan. Rock, you see him on the apron. He's kind of like, ugh. So Rock runs back to the ring, makes the save. They clear out the ring. Rock and Hogan shake hands. Hogan goes to leave. Rock's like, no. You pose to them. Crowd's like, yes. You know, they're not saying yes at this time. Yes chants weren't a thing. So Hogan's doing his pose. They're all like, yeah. So, you know, Hogan and Rock leave, and Rock's fully endorsing, you know, Hogan's fully endorsing Rock, you know, raising his hand and just pointing at him, and Rock just tries to buff the emotions like, yeah, we're not buying it. And then Rock goes Hollywood for the next year. That's what happens. So they showed WWF New York. This was a cool place. I would like to have gone there when it was still that. Big Show's in the crowd. Yeah, WrestleMania 18. Yeah, with a little kid on his shoulder. It's like, this is you, Big Show. This is how little this company values you, man. You're in New York, not even in Toronto at the building. They couldn't even put you in a match for WrestleMania. You know why? Because they thought you sucked. Attendance record of 68,237 is announced. Not a bad record. I don't know if that was inflated or not. At this time, I'm pretty sure they actually probably had that many people in it. It was a packed house. Women's Championship match. Jazz versus Lita versus Trish Stratus. This was another chaotic match, a quick match. But a good women's match. Better than, I don't know, probably better than the one at 20 that I watched. Better than most of them. Trish, you know, she's in her hometown. She lost the title to Jazz not long before this. Jazz attacks Lita before Trish even gets in the ring. Trish is wearing her little Canadian tights with the, you know, Canadian flag on her bum. All three women are just trying to get the advantage in this match. They're just constantly back and forth. You know, Lita would get the advantage a little bit. Jazz would get it, you know, using her strength. Trish would get in the ring, get a small advantage. The best part's when you get Trish and Lita, you know, kind of staring each other down. They'd knock Jazz down and they'd fight a little bit, but Jazz would get back into it. So Jazz, she's back in. She's kind of putting Lita down. Jazz and Trish start battling. Lita gets back in, breaks up things. So Lita goes up top. Trish, you know, stops her. She's on the apron. She's punching her. Jazz just runs up, elbows Trish right in the face. So Trish goes flying off the apron. Jazz gets up top, sets Lita up for fisherman suplex, just takes her off the top rope in a fisherman, and pins Lita 1, 2, 3, and Jazz retains her women's championship. Like I said, this match was chaotic. Keeping track of this match, next to impossible. But I did my best. So Christian's backstage, getting his stuff into a taxi. Christian is like, yes, I'm hardcore champion. Maven sneaks up from behind, rolls Christian up, 1, 2, 3. Maven's the new champion, jumps in the car. Not only does he take off with the belt, but he takes off with Christian's gear. Good stuff, right? Good stuff. Oh, so it's main event time. It's Triple H versus Chris Jericho for the Undisputed Championship. Now, of course, Triple H tore his quad the year before at Raw, facing Chris Jericho. Of course, they played it off that Jericho was part of the reason Triple H was put on the shelf when he put him in the Lion Tamer, or in the Walls of Jericho, after Triple H tore his quad, so they played that into it. Triple H, of course, would come back, would win the Royal Rumble, would go on to WrestleMania, where him and Stephanie are going through their divorce, and all that stuff. Like, a lot of stories going on this. The focus was not so much on Jericho as it was on Stephanie and Triple H and what was going on with them. And Jericho was just, unfortunately, Jericho was just kind of there, which is an unfortunate thing. I know you guys are hearing me roll up paper because my notes are like trying to roll themselves. It's annoying. Better. So yeah, Triple H, they're playing off the fact that Triple H's quad is hurt. It's hanging by a thread, King. That's what we're being told. Is Triple H's quad is hanging by a thread. But my God, if this is his last WrestleMania, he's not going down without a fight. Okay, they really ramping up Triple H. And the crowd, at this point, the crowd is already burnt out. Trish, Lita, Jazz didn't get much of a response when you thought they would with Trish coming out. But this crowd was spent. Up to the latter of the match, they were. Of course, Drowning Pool, I didn't say nothing earlier, but Drowning Pool, they play for Triple H as his alternate theme, time to play the game. I love the fucking song. Unfortunately, this was the only WrestleMania we'd get to see the lead singer of Drowning Pool as he would go to kill himself. And I like Drowning Pool. Their album, Sinner, one of to me, my top 10 albums ever. It's a really good album. Jericho goes for the leg right away. Triple H, of course, is trying to avoid it. But ultimately, the match gets to where the whole match is Jericho working the leg and Triple H trying to fight him off, trying to keep Jericho from messing up the leg. But, hey, his quad, it's hanging by a thread, man. It's hanging by a thread. But Triple H is still able to wrestle for the next year with no issues with his quad. Who knew? Fast recovery. So Triple H is trying to fight back. Steph would get involved occasionally during this match. When you get towards the end of the match, Jericho puts Triple H in the walls. Triple H is he's trying to get to the ropes and he gets pulled back. He fades, but then he wakes up and he's fighting back. He gets to the ropes. Steph, let's see, where am I at? Jericho goes outside the ring, gets a chair. Steph's on the apron. Triple H kicks it into his face, and then DDT's Jericho, still only gets a 2 count. Stephanie gets the chair. The ref takes it from her. She's like yelling at him. She goes out of the ring. She bumps into Triple H. She goes to walk away. Triple H grabs her by the hair. Pedigree Stephanie. She's out of the match while Triple H is pushing her away and the ref's trying to get her out of the ring. She had a boob slip at this point, too. In case no one knew, there was a boob slip. Go watch it real slow motion. You'll see the boob slip. Jericho chair shot to Triple H's head. 2 count. Jericho's mad. Jericho goes for the pedigree. Triple H reverses it. Slingshots. Jericho, he catches himself on the middle turnbuckle. Goes to jump back off. Triple H kicks him. Sets him up for the pedigree. Jericho tries to get out of it. Triple H is fighting. Jericho pedigreed right to the mat. 1, 2, 3. Triple H is your new undisputed WWE champion. And that, my friends, is WrestleMania 18. Good show. A good show. Like I said, a very good show. Main event was wrong. Shouldn't have been the WWE title. But hey, it was Trips. He was married to the daughter of the owner of the company. So obviously he gets the main event. But in my mind, and I think in a lot of other people's minds, the real main event was Rock and Hogan. And you can't tell us otherwise. But no disrespect to those guys who had the title match. It was a good title match. No doubt. Fantastic title match. Just not the title match that we wanted. It is what it is, though. But thank you, everyone. You guys can go to Twitter. Facebook.com/, or no, not /. You can find us at YoBroGaming1 at Twitter. You also find us at Facebook at YoBroNation on Facebook. You can follow us and like us there. StreamLabs, YoBro Gaming and Reviews on StreamLabs. You guys can go there, donate $1. I don't care. Or you guys can go ahead and be Patreon members. Patreon.com/YoBroNation. All those options to choose from, but just like and share this video. That's the best thing you can do from us. Like and share. By golly, like and share. But I am done for the day. I am out of here. I want to thank everyone who did tune in this video. Thank you to everyone who's watched everything that we've uploaded this weekend. For all of you who did. Tonight, WWE Elimination Chamber. I'll be watching it with my mom. It should be fun. I'm sure my girlfriend will watch it with me tonight because my mom is here. So I will go live with the pay-per-view. I might be with my girlfriend. I might be alone. Who knows at this point. But post-show video with my girlfriend for sure tonight. That's going on the channel as soon as we are done with the review. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate you all for coming in. Subscribe to Patreon. You can see those stuff. So I'm out. Peace out. Y'all have a fantastic, wonderful day. I'll see y'all tonight for Elimination Chamber. See you later.